All right. Morning run's over. What to do with the rest of my day? Well, I guess it's time for a beer. Welcome to Big Papa's Daytime Drinking Show. Let's do it. All right, so I'm here at Dead Lizard Brewing Company off of 36th Street in Orlando over in the industrial complex area, very close to LB McLeod. And you may be familiar with the beer because I actually mentioned one of their beers in the first episode of Big Papa's Daytime Drinking Show, and that was the Purple Skink, which is their core IPA. And I decided to go a little off the tracks today. Instead of drinking just their cores, I'm going to drink some of my favorites from them instead. So let's jump on this awesome flight I got going for us. So I'd be amiss if I didn't mention my favorite beer from them, which again we addressed in the first issue. That's going to be the Purple Skink IPA. Now this is sort of a clash of New England versus West Coast. You get the haziness and that cool body of the New England style IPA, but you get that piney notes from the West Coast IPA. This is comes at 7% ABV with 68 IBUs. You already get the those piney notes, but also a nice citrus one. So again, that's that clash of the two styles of IPA, the citrus and the piney. Delicious dank IPA. This IPA is one of my favorite IPAs in all of the Central Florida area. So it's a phenomenal beer, and I love Dead Lizard. I love Purple Skink. So I mean, it's definitely, if you're gonna try any of their beers, this is the one you have to have from them. So moving on to the next one, I have a joke for you. Knock knock. Who's there? Banana. Banana who? Knock knock. Who's there? Banana. Banana who? Knock knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange who? Knock knock. Who's there? Orange. Orange who? Orange, glad I didn't say banana. I know that was bad and I'm sorry. This is a traditional style Hefeweiss, but instead of just your typical Hefeweiss, they took it one step further and added a hint of orange peel. It smells beautiful and banana, just like you expect from a Hefeweiss. Ooh, all those notes of clove and banana from the Hefeweiss yeast, and just a little bit of orange citrus underneath. It's great. This one comes in at a 5.6% ABV with 13 IBUs. So very nice middle of the road, very low bitterness. You know, Hefeweisses aren't known for having bitterness, so this is a really, really good beer. I really like the way they added the orange to offset that usually strong clove and banana flavors that you expect from Hefs and Wits and stuff like that. So now we're gonna move on to something a little different. This is the Roasted Pistachio Nut Brown. It's a brown ale that comes in at 6.4% ABV. Lots of nutty notes, very smooth, easy drinking. It's very biscuity in that malt base, where it gives you that almost like flaky, like you're eating a biscuit, that same similarity. Cool thing about this is that it's aged with pistachios and on toasted bourbon oak. So not only are you getting those pistachio notes, those typical nut notes, you're getting a very subtle caramelness from that toasted oak. That's just a great combination of beer in general. So, and then we're gonna jump over to our last one of the flight today, and it's gonna get a little naughty here for a second. This is the Salted Caramel XXX Stout. It's a milk stout, 8.5% ABV, 45 IBUs. They put a lot of chocolate and salted caramel into this. Oh, wonderfully balanced. So decadent. Instead of being a milk stout that you're expecting like that crash of sweetness, that crash of creaminess, and all those notes, it's almost like eating a nice European chocolate. Very smooth, full chocolate flavor. That's almost like a chocolate ganache that you're drinking right here. So that's our drinking today at Dead Lizard Brewing in Orlando. If you find yourself over in the industrial park area, swing by, grab a couple beers, enjoy yourself. All right, I had such a great time at Dead Lizard this week, and if you find yourself in that area, please drop by, grab yourself a purple skink, enjoy one of their seasonal selections, and see what you think for yourself. But this transitions us over to the Rebrews section, and this week's Rebrew has me both interested and honestly nervous. So let's dive in and see what we get, shall we? All right, so this week we're brewing the IROC Oyster Gose from Redlight Beer Parlor and Brewery out of Orlando, Florida. And a little preview, I mentioned that I'm both excited and nervous to try it. Excited because I love interesting beers. If you're gonna add something crazy to it, I wanna try it. If you're gonna try a new brewing method, that sounds great for me. But the thing that has me most nervous about this is this right here. But why would this make me nervous? If you're not familiar, there's a reason that a bunch of breweries, if you look next to me, they come in these different colored bottles, these dark bottles, because of sun penetration. Clear bottles are the death of beer because the sun is the enemy of beer because it often taints it and skunks it. And that's why Corona, in case you didn't know this, I'm gonna blow the lid off this right now. Corona encourages you to add citrus to their beer. You know, it's always good to take a Corona, add a lime to it. That's because their beer is typically skunked. So you add the lime to it and that citrus overpowers that flavor and it makes it taste like a fun tropical beer. So this makes me super nervous. The other thing that's really weighing into this is the fact that how they make it. So this is a beer that is made with coriander and oysters. And then it's 100% fermented inside of a barrel. So they take, through the brewing process, they add coriander to it, and then they take all these snot rocks, add it to the brewing process, then when it's time to actually do the fermentation process, take it out of that, stick it in a barrel. So you've got coriander, beer base, oysters, all in a barrel aging. So I'm super interested in this. So, like I said, I will try anything once. The crazier the beer, the more I want to try it. I saw this today at Regency, and my brain went, you gotta drink this. Okay, right off the notes, I'm getting a lot of salt. Very salty smell. This would probably be a great beer to sit on the beach with. Color is hazy, golden. Here we go, let's give it a shot. Okay, not bad. Very simple wheat ale, definitely soured. So like I said, it's a sour Gose. They call it a Gose. It's a soured wheat ale. It's very like convoluted what actual style it is. But it's, yeah, you definitely get the elements of that wheat beer. It definitely tastes a little sour. I mean, it's not bad. I don't know if you can see it in there, but there are little particles floating around the beer. I don't taste a lot. And I mean, it's not weird for a brewery to do this. If you think about like Dogfish had not too long ago made Choc Lobster, which was their chocolate lobster beer that they actually used like thousands of pounds of lobster in the brewing process. So it's not weird to take shellfish and stuff like that and make a beer. But I was expecting this to be a lot more fishy, a lot more gamey. But it's not. It's a pretty decent, just salty sour Gose, almost similar to like another Dogfish beer, the Sea Quench, where it's just like a salted sour ale. So it's actually, I mean, it's not terrible. Do I need it again? No. So I mean, yeah, it'd be a one and done for me. So overall, I'd say probably a 3. Realistically, like I'm not impressed by it. I'm not let down by it. It's a middle of the road beer. There's nothing really special about it, in my opinion, when it comes to this one. And it's called IROC because that is the Indian River Oyster Company. Those are the oysters that they use to supply this beer. So it's an interesting beer. I love the concept of it. It's fun to get creative and playful. I love, Orlando breweries. So, should you try it? Yeah, why not? You got nothing to lose. It wasn't a bad beer. The glass bottle misled me. It wasn't skunky. It wasn't bad like I thought it would be. So if you find it, you see it, and you're like, yeah, let's try something different. Go for it. I don't think your brain's going to be exploded by it, but it's worth it. So again, IROC Oyster Gose by Redlight. 3 out of 5. I just can't stand when people are like, oh, I can't do this, I can't do that. When in reality, the only thing that's limiting them is themselves. So that's why when somebody ever says, Big Papa, you can't do that, I just look them in the face and go, tell me I can't. Just like for today's chug, it's time for Big Papa Chugs. So for today's chug, we're going to do Tell Me I Can't by Bentwater Brewing out of Lynn, Massachusetts. This is a New England style IPA, comes in at 6.5% ABV. It's a tropical hop bomb that is made with Citra, Sabro, and Cashmere hops, and it's also a collaboration. But it's not a collaboration with another brewery. It's a collaboration with an awesome nonprofit society that I think is just one of the coolest things out there right now. They collabed with Pink Boot Society, which is a nonprofit international women's organization that goes out of their way to help support women in the brewing industry, all the way from head brewers down to beer tenders. They just want to see this underrepresented minority succeed in the brewing world that is heavily male dominated. So power to them. If you look at it, you see that deep coloring when it comes to how thick that is. Ooh, lots of citrus notes all up front. And let's give it a whirl, shall we? So for all the women that are told they can't, tell them differently. Prost. Wow, that is a tasty beer. Wow, it's very dense, a little heavy. Definitely a hop bomb. Lots of hop notes just hitting you back and forth, but it's very well balanced with all those citrus elements. Very nice, very orange, a little bit of passion fruity in there. But that's a solid beer. So if you're feeling down, think about it. Nobody can limit you unless you allow them. Well, sun's down, but the weather's still beautiful, so I might as well knock out another run. Until next time, this has been Big Papa's Daytime Drinking Show. Keep on chugging.